What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Rawstocks. This is Rustic. Today we're going to be taking a look at Tesla's chart. We're going to look at where price came from, where price ended today, and where price is likely to head tomorrow into the rest of the week. We're also going to check out Nvidia, QQQ, and SPY as a few other tickers that we've been adding to the videos lately. We've had some requests that maybe we cover a little bit more than just Tesla, so we're going to take a look at those three tickers as well. If you have any requests for any specific tickers that you might like added to a video, let me know. Happy to add some analysis into one of my videos. Just drop a comment down below, state the ticker, and I'll go ahead and check that out for you. Before we get started, don't forget to check out the link in the description below, the new rawstocksllc.com website. Check it out. It's got more information about the Discord, how to become a free member, how to join as a premium member, what the different premium packages offer. Everything's there on the Discord. So go ahead and check that out. Now we'll jump into the charts. We got Tesla pulled up first, and we're on the daily chart for Tesla. You can see we had the down day. And I'll get into one of the ways that we knew it was going to be a down day based on a template that I've observed on multiple different occasions, and it continues to play out nearly perfectly. So we'll take a look at that as we drop into low time frames. But what is the daily chart telling us? We're below the moving averages, below all the moving averages, right? We've been doing this back and forth, right? As the 20 period and the 50 period on the daily chart have converged, to be very tight. We keep dropping below, then popping back above. We have our ascending support level that we've been watching, and we have our horizontal level of support as well, around that 173.79, 173.13 ish. We just ran a test of that today, right? We ran a test of it last week as well. As that support trend has come up to meet our horizontal level, we've gotten a little bit tighter as far as coming down to test that support line as well. You can see previously we've had us only coming down to that level because that ascending support line was so much further down. But now that we have it in the same general area, we're running a test of the trend line. Okay, if we drop down into the 1 hour chart, actually we'll take a look at the 4 hour chart today. 4 hour chart, we got a bearish fair value gap here, but because we're at the support line, we could pop back up into it and then fade down and break below it. Or we could take it out completely in the next 4 hour session that we have. It'd be an inverted 4 hour fair value gap, and we'd be looking to make a push on these highs. Let's drop into the, actually we'll look at the moving averages here too. On this case, moving averages are very tight, and we're below all the moving averages. If we look at the 1 hour chart, we're also below all the moving averages, right? They were tight, now they're less tight. They're starting to expand down. But we'll have to wait and see if we pop back above the 20 period. Having the 200 and the 100 very close can still offer support or resistance, or kind of an average between that range that we've been in. And so if we see price pop back up above the 20 period, right, could run a test on the 50, or if it breaks above all of them, could look to hold that as support and drive price higher. You can see on the 1 hour chart, we have the order block, right? And this order block has been very popular as we've been trading in a consolidation range. You can see how many times: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're here 10 times. This has been a huge support level, a lot of opportunities to buy inside of this 1 hour order block, right? And then ride it back up to wherever our support levels are up above. I'd say, pretty decent support level would be 182.66. And I think if you were going to look at a kind of a secondary support level, you might look at something like the 179, the 179 range right here. Pop that back up. There we go. 179.75. You can even drop it down a little bit lower, but it kind of captures all of these highs here. Maybe we drop it down, capture a little bit more, 179.50, right? But in between 178, 179 and 180 has been a very popular area to find that rejection coming. Even when we pop back up to that 182, 183 level, right, we drop back down. So if you're grabbing positions down here in this order block, right, your first target would be that 179-ish area, right? And then if we blew through that, it'd be like 180, 182, 183 area. So no reason to think until we break that trend line and break these support levels and close this order block as low as 171.5. There's no reason to believe that price isn't going to see a bounce coming in here soon, right? Even if we do fade that, we need, since this is the 1 hour chart and a 1 hour order block, we need a 1 hour candle close between 171.5 to confirm that order block being closed. And then we could look for further downside. Now the RSI on the 1 hour chart does have a bearish look. We're below the moving average, right? We're fading down to an oversold territory. We could see an early sell-off into tomorrow and see that RSI come down and then see a little bit of recovery from there. We also could see price push up into tomorrow and then reverse back down, maybe run a test back into that order block and onto that ascending support trend line as well, right? And then, you know, best case scenario for the bulls is that we just see a face ripper similar to some of these we've seen over here, where all of a sudden we just shoot back up to that 180 range, somewhere in between that 182 and 180 range, you know, take a ride up. We got data coming out all this week, not tomorrow, but Wednesday, Thursday, we got the Tesla vote coming up. So there's a lot on the table right now for Tesla. And so it's already been a wild and interesting ride these last couple of weeks. And again, looking for price to continue to do that until we see a breakout of this triangle, right? We've been consolidating here for a while. We are approaching that apex of that triangle. And so we'll just be watching very closely. You could also draw a slightly more aggressive trend line if you wanted to just capture this move from back on May 21st, right? And capture that more tight and aggressive descending resistance line as well. So you can see there, we're very closely consolidating. It looks like we're going to probably break out this week, most likely on the vote, but it could be on one of the data. So definitely be paying very close attention. We'll drop down into the 15-minute today on Tesla, and then we'll look at the template. So this is our most recent order blocks. So this is going to be your most recent consolidation range that we're going to be looking at. Again, that 15-minute order block comes in the same area as we see that 1 hour order block. So very strong support here. And then we have this order block above that comes in from today. And that's up to 177 all the way to 177.86, give or take. So you saw we tore through that today and then rejected it very hard and faded. So what I want to look at on the low time frame chart, we'll take a look at a 5-minute chart. The 15-minute confirmed it. The 5-minute and the 1 minute would have been a fake out. So originally in the Discord, I said this looks like a down close or a down close trading day, right? So a continuous down close. And what I mean by that is that we just keep fading into the PM session. Okay. And how I identify that, and I've seen this template play out many times. And so as I've seen it more and more, I get more confident in taking the trade based on this template. So we have our London kill zone range right here, right? And then we fade that range before New York opens. And then New York, this is still pre-market, New York AM pre-market here, right? We only get up to about 50% of that London kill zone range, right? So you see we faded it after the kill zone. We pop back up to open around 50% of that London kill zone. Okay, then we trade down into the actual New York open trading session, the opening bell. Okay, and then typically what happens on a 1 or 5 minute chart is that we pop back up to swipe the liquidity that's in the pre-market New York AM session high and that 50% level of that London kill zone again. This time we overshot it, so it was a little bit of a fake out. I was still in puts and I rode them up and then back down. They ended up paying out nicely, but I did get a little nervous with this 5 minute candle up where we closed well above the liquidity of the London kill zone high, right? And normally it just ends right here about that 50% level. So did get a little like, oh, what's going on? But sure enough, we get that sell down and then we get the directional down trading all day into New York PM session. We saw a little bit of a rebound and then faded back down again. But directional down day, right? And so if we go back to the 15-minute chart, you can see the 15-minute chart confirmed exactly that. Even though we had that long wick, our candles never really closed above that 50% of that London kill zone. So confirmation on the 15-minute chart, but one minute or 5 minute could have got faked out and ended up closing the position thinking, oh, this isn't going to be a directional down day. We still caught it. Also very rare that Tesla gets the directional down day on a Monday, but not surprised because of the fact that we have that vote and the data coming up. So most likely that plays into the accelerated power of three, basically. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to jump over to Nvidia. We're going to look at Nvidia on some of the higher time frames. We're going to check out the daily. So this is post split price. So ignore that wick that takes us much higher. And we're going to just look at basically the candle body and the daily low. So you can see we ran a test to take the sell side liquidity here on the daily chart. We pop back up. This red order block here is a 4-hour bearish fair value gap. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But you can see we just drew down. As far as RSI goes on the daily, we are pushing back up. We could see price continue to go higher. Certainly a possibility, as this RSI is on the daily chart is just right above oversold, and it's pointed up, and we got the moving average also pointing up on the RSI. If we drop into the 4-hour chart, which is where we find that bearish order block, you can see we came down, we set that, bearish fair value gap. We come down, we set that fair value gap, we drew back into it, ran a test of the 20 period, and we've drawn back into it a couple different 4-hour sessions. So, but we have not closed it. Interesting that we might see a continued move down throughout this week. So we'll just have to be watching that very closely, but kind of get one of these and we could run a test of the ascending 50 period, right? If this fair value gap holds as resistance, then we could see a test to take that liquidity in the low at 117 and potentially run a test on something like 115. That's why I took the puts today. I didn't get the perfect entry. Definitely down on those puts now, but that's why I continue to hold them, because right now there's no confirmation that this fair value gap isn't going to hold. Now, if we close a 4-hour candle above that fair value gap, okay, the trade's pretty much burnt anyways, but that would be our confirmation that we're looking to push up on buy side liquidity found in the old high back here from June 6th. Okay, now we'll drop down into the 1-hour chart. That's the last one we'll look at. I'm going to take our, I'm going to leave this indicator on because that's on the 4-hour chart, that down move would be running a test on the 50 period, and that down move here would be running a test on the 200 period on the 1-hour chart. So that's what we'd be looking for. But with that bullish candle that popped us up in the beginning of today's session, or the 10 o'clock, the 10 o'clock 4-hour candle, nice bullish candle, and then we pop back up to take the high from the pre-market open 4 a.m. candle. So nice move there, but again, still finding our rejection on in the 4-hour. Bearish fair value gap. So looking to see if price can fade these moving averages, right? Start to turn down, run a test on the 100 period where we found support today, or maybe even run a test into the end of the week on the 200 period. 1-hour RSI neutralized right around 50. Not giving us too much signals on the 1-hour chart as we, kind of faded and consolidated into close. We'll take a look at QQQ, had a killer QQQ trade in the callouts didn't make the callouts, but posted the analysis that traders could have taken. Posted the strike that looked good based on some gamma levels, but it was a 470 call. It was a weekly instead of a 0-day, and was really looking to see if we could get a push up. It was based on some gamma levels that we had coming in hot, gamma up around 470, 475. So time is your friend on those if you're trying to let them play out. Was able to get it down here, write it up nicely. The close ended up being about $500 on the contracts. If we look at the daily chart, you can see we had a nice day. We're still inside of this high-low range, but we engulfed the previous 2 days price action, and so we'll be seeing again RSI has room to push up. I would expect those gamma levels to hit probably on Wednesday. But we'll see. Could even be on Thursday. Again, we got double data back to back. And so seeing if we can push up to those high gamma levels, 470. I wouldn't expect 475 to hit, but 475 because it has high gamma, a lot of those will probably close if we do push up to 470, and those gamma levels will start to decrease. But we'll just have to wait and see. Again, still lots of nice moves coming from QQQ, probably a lot due to Nvidia and how bullish it's been lately. You can see on Qs, we are blown out of the moving averages. And we were not able to take a new high, but with that nice candle, we could anticipate over the next few days a push higher. We'll drop into the 1 hour chart on the Qs. You can see today's price action. We pushed up, we dropped down a little bit. We're staying above the 20 period. No reason to think we're going to drop down lower. You can see on the RSI, we're just correcting a little bit, but still has room to curl up, push up, make a run on that 470 level. Last thing we'll look at is SPY. Didn't take any SPY trades today. Similar look to Qs, right? We engulfed the previous 2 days. Didn't break outside the high-low range from Friday, but a nice move either way. Less blown out off the 20 period on the daily, but still a nice bullish move. Didn't check the gamma on SPY today, or I did, but I didn't check it as often, and it didn't have as impressive predictions as far as the move up goes based on gamma levels. So like Q, a little bit better based on those gamma readings. But for those of you who trade SPY, SPY and Q move often in the similar direction. So definitely could expect that SPY continues to move up as well if you see QQQ continue to move up. We'll look at the 1 hour chart, and that's the last thing we'll take a look at today. Again, you can see kind of price moved up, had less correction in my opinion than Qs did, kind of just nice kind of fade up, right, and then a little bit of consolidation into the end of the day above the moving averages. All the moving averages are lined up the way you want to see them for another move higher, and RSI has plenty of room for SPY to continue to push all-time highs, right? So what I'd be looking at, without having checked the gamma lately, I'd be looking at maybe end of week 438, maybe 538, maybe 539. If the market reacts positively to the data that's going to be coming out. So hopefully this has been helpful. This analysis has been good for you guys. I appreciate all the support. Don't forget to check out the website rawstocksllc.com. If you have any comments, drop them in the comment section. If you have any stock ticker requests, drop them in the comment section. Smash a like, subscribe, share with all your friends, get the word out. We continue to grow. Last thing I want to mention, for those of you who don't know, when we were running a promotion for when we hit 1,000 YouTube subscribers, which we did hit. We're giving away a Rawstocks hooded sweatshirt. I'll make a standalone video sometime soon, just so that everybody can see it in case you didn't watch all the way to the end. But we're giving away a hooded sweatshirt to participate in the drawing. Just join the Rawstocks trading community on Discord. Again, the link's found on the Rawstocks website, and just go ahead and go in there. There's a participation button under the Rawstocks gear tab, and you can join for a chance to win a Rawstocks logo brand hoodie. So check that out. And again, appreciate all the support. We'll see you guys on the next one. Good luck on your trading session tomorrow.